Hey y'all, welcome back to Trendy DIY 29, back here with another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to basically make a from farm to table meal. If you guys watched the video yesterday of the first garden tour of 2021, you will be able to see exactly what I picked to make this meal with. But if you did not watch the video, I had 3 of these little baby garlics. So I'm going to use that. And then in the basket, I also have some rosemary that I picked from the garden. I have some lemon thyme that I picked from the garden. I also have some Bush Blue Lake green beans, as well as a few sugar snap peas. And then I have a mesclun lettuce blend. And so I wanted to show you guys just how easy it is to actually make a meal, because I know there's so many people on YouTube that show you their gardens, they show you them picking stuff, but they never actually show you what they do with the actual stuff from the garden. So I want to be able to start making more from farm to table videos for you guys, so look out for that. So in this video, only thing that I'm going to be using are 3 ingredients from my refrigerator. Everything else is going to come from the garden. So this is going to be a farm to table 3 ingredient dinner that I'm making. The 3 ingredients that I am going to use are going to be, and I'm not counting seasonings, guys. So seasonings are not being counted as an ingredient. I have right here some pounded chicken breasts. I already had pounded them flat. And then I have a tomato. That's from my fridge. And then I have a red onion. That's from my fridge. So that's 3 ingredients that most people have in their house. And then everything else to create this meal is going to come from the garden. So let's get started, guys. The first thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to prep my chicken. Well, actually, I'm going to want to prep my garlic, because my garlic, I want to use that for my chicken as well. So let's prep our garlic. You guys see all that long, all the long roots on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the bottoms off. Little baby garlics. Cut the tops off. Have my little garlic heads. And I'm just going to go in with my nail, get up underneath of there, and just take the little outside skin off. You guys can see that. If you guys are wondering, this is like a weird angle on this video, is because right now my other counter that I normally do my videos on, they are, it's actually being occupied. So let me move that in, get you guys a little bit closer in there, okay? So I'm just removing the outer skin of the garlic. If you want, you can do the smash. I should have did that, but I didn't. Because it's like, okay, this is a little baby clove of garlic. I doubt if I really need to smash this. Okay. Because you always want to get that outer skin. And since this didn't dry, normally if you plant garlic, you want to let the actual husk of the garlic to dry. So you want to like hang it for a few days until the skin dries up. So I have my little 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to smash them down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dice this up. You want to make sure you use a somewhat sharp knife. Just give this a good mince. You want to try to get it somewhat fine, but if you have a few chunks in there, don't worry about it. A little bit of skin right there. It smells so good, guys. This knife actually could be sharper. think that's nice and good. Take our garlic off the knife. Okay. I'm just going to move that over to the side. And the next thing that I'm going to cut, I'm going to mince up my herbs. You can use whatever herbs you want. I used what was growing in my garden, which was the rosemary. I'm a rosemary fanatic. I'm just going to strip these leaves off of the stem. And I'm going to do the same with my thyme. Now, if the stems aren't really woody, you don't necessarily have to, but rosemary is a very woody plant, especially since it's a second year. But this is like the new growth from my thyme. It's really not that woody yet, versus this piece of the old growth it's a little bit more woody. But I like to strip the leaves. And for me, the best way to do herbs, you want to just roll these up. And then I'm just going to go down while it's rolled up and just mince that down small, just to release the oils out of the herb. Move that down. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my chicken ready. My chicken has already been washed, and it's already been smashed. So let me move this. Just sit this in the basket real quick. I have my bowl here ready to go. So I have my chicken. It's already been washed and pounded. You want to try to get your chicken thin if you want this to cook fast. So here goes my chicken breast. It's already been washed and pounded like I showed you guys. Throw that into the bowl. I'm going to lift this camera up for you guys because I can see that you can't see inside the bowl. So let me lift this up for you guys real quick. Don't mind me. Just give me a second. Okay, so you guys can see in the bowl. Let me see if I can get you guys a little bit closer. There you go. Okay, so I have my chicken in the bowl and smashed them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of a marinade. Here you can use whatever you want. I'm using a barbecue base called Stubbs. I really love this stuff. If you guys haven't got to try it, you should definitely try it. But it's basically a barbecue base, and it just has vinegar and spices. It doesn't taste like barbecue sauce. I just love the herbs and spices. So I'm going to dump that in there. Might as well use the rest. It's not really that much left. I'm going to get my little fork. We're going to work this Stubbs stuff into our chicken. Make sure that it's evenly coated on each side. And right now, you can actually turn your stove on. That's what I'm going to do. I got my stove on a medium high because I want this to get a nice little, hopefully get a nice brown to it. I should have used my cast iron skillet, but it's not as big as the skillet that I'm using, so I decided to not use cast iron. But if you have if you're not doing big giant pieces of chicken like this, or only doing like one slice, I would say to use a cast iron skillet. I'm just gonna go over here to my little herb mixture. We're not gonna use it all. I want to use all my herbs, but not all of my garlic, because I want to use some of my garlic with my beans. So I'm taking my herbs, sprinkle that in there. And the good thing, that lemon thyme has a very lemon flavor to it, which is going to give this chicken a really nice flavor. Take some of this garlic into the thing that it goes, guys. So we have our lemon thyme, our rosemary, our garlic, and then we have our Stubbs marinade. And I'm just going to give this a good coating. Be careful that you don't rip your chicken up, because when you pound your chicken, it tends to be fragile. I'm just going to make sure that I get garlic and herbs on all these different pieces. Now, this is definitely something that you could do the night before and just prep this, leave it in the fridge. This is definitely would be something that would be really good on the grill. I have a grill pan. I should have probably did it in a grill pan, but my grill pan, I would need to do like one at a time. So now that we have this nice and done, we're going to go over here to the stove, guys. So we're going to turn you guys over to the stove, and we're going to get cooking. So I have my chicken ready. I'm getting this pan is nice and hot. I'm going to go in with a little bit of olive oil. I always like to move it around. Get that pan evenly coated. Go like this. I can feel my heat. So now I'm just going to lay my chicken into the pan. This is going to be a really quick meal, guys. Because like I was telling you guys the other day, that's sometimes the garden will pick dinner for you. And it did. The only thing I had was some mesclun greens, some peas, some green beans, some little baby garlic. And I'm about to show you guys how easy this is. So I have that searing. And I'm just going to come in with some of my seasonings. Show you guys what I'm using. I'm going to come in with this rosemary herb salt. I love it because it has big chunks of salt and that nice rosemary inside. So I'm going to come in with that to season my chicken. Okay. I have some peppercorn medley. I love this stuff. It has red peppercorn, black peppercorn, and white peppercorn in it. So it's all of them. And I love that with these McCormick grinders, you can actually control how big your chunks of pepper that's coming out. I like mine nice, have like a nice little spice to it. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of onion powder. Don't want it too oniony, so just go in lightly. Okay. And we're just going to let that simmer nice and good. I'm going to go over here to the sink and wash my hands. You want good hygiene. While our chicken is nice and cooking, it smells wonderful in here. I just like to do a little peek. Make sure we're getting our little brownness, so I see everything is going well. Make sure nothing's sticking. And you want to do this a few minutes. It depends on how flat your chicken is, how much you pounded it down, but I'd say maybe about 7 minutes aside. But I go by firmness of the meat. But while that chicken is turning, let's start on our salad. So I'm just going to turn you guys over here for a second. And I'm back to my cutting board while that cooks. And I have my bowl ready. And I'm just going to take my greens out. You can do whatever you want. My greens are kind of big. But what I'm going to do, what I like to do, is just tear them. So I hold them together, all of my hands. Get every last piece. Have all of my greens, and I'm just going to tear them into this bowl. If you don't like the stems, you can cut the stems off. I don't mind the stems. So I said this would be a very quick dinner and a really healthy dinner. Just like we just picked this. So I have all my greens nicely in the bowl, and I'm going to move that to the back. I'm going to come in with my tomato, and I'm just going to dice my tomato up. It's just a half a tomato that I had in the fridge. I cannot wait till my tomatoes come in because I swear, if you never had a homegrown tomato, you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, my knife is definitely dull, guys. It's smushing my tomato. Don't use a dull knife. They're dangerous. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tomatoes up there. I cannot wait till my cherry tomatoes come in. So I have a little bit of tomatoes in there. And then I'm just going to get a little bit of red onion. Now, if you have more vegetables you want to add to your salad, go ahead. But I wanted to keep this simple to show you guys how you can actually make a meal from the majority of the stuff that you already have in your garden. And really, guys, it's that fast. It's really that fast. And I'm just going to move this out the way. And our salad, like literally that fast, guys, it's done. I'm going to put this to the side. And we're going to go back over here to flip our chicken. It should be nice and brown. So now that we're back over here, flip that chicken up. Yes, that's what we want. We want this color. Don't flip your chicken too much. I know some people that literally they'll put their chicken in the pan and literally they'll flip it, what, like 5 minutes? Or not even 5 minutes. It'll be like 1 minute later and they're already flipping the chicken. Like, do not over flip. It smells so wonderful. I want you guys to try this. This dish will work with any marinade. You can use this this same type of vibe with any vegetable. Like, say if you didn't have green beans that came in or peas that came in. But say you had, I don't know, you had squash that came in. Or you had a zucchini that came in. You can cook it the exact same way. If you have a little bit of garlic, whatever type of herbs, like, the sky's the limit. And when you're using stuff fresh out the garden, the taste is so much better than anything that you can get from anything that you buy at the grocery store. So that something as simple as this, with this few amount of ingredients, can actually come out tasting like something from a 5-star restaurant. Like, seriously. So I'm just going to let that get nice and good. And this chicken is just cooking. This would probably also be good if you wanted to serve it. Say, for instance, if you didn't have a salad, you could serve it with some brown rice. That'd probably be really good. The sky is the limit when it comes to cooking out of your stuff out of your garden, because you'll get stuff coming in all different stages. That garlic is so strong. Like, I cook with a lot of garlic, and the smell of this garlic is just out of this world. Like, the smell of it is something better than I've ever smelled before. So our chicken is cooking nicely, guys. So I'm going to move back over here to the salad and spice this up a little bit. I like to add salt, pepper. You can add whatever you want. Once again, I'm going back in with my peppercorn medley. And then I have my sea salt. This is like the only salt that I really, sea salt that I buy. Baleen, I think that's what you say. I really like this. But make sure that if you're going to use sea salt, make sure that you are also still using iodized salt. Because you do need iodine. You can't just say, all right, I'm done with iodized salt. Sprinkle it with a little bit of sea salt. And right here, I have my favorite salad dressing, which is the Olive Garden salad dressing. I love it. Let me get my croutons, guys. Well, actually, I'm not going to put croutons because that's adding another ingredient. So I'm not going to add croutons. Cut my flame down a little bit. So I'm just going to add in my salad dressing. Some people don't like to add their salad dressing first. To me, I feel like it depends on the type of lettuce because you don't want it to get wilty. But this is a really firm lettuce. So I'm just going to add in my vinaigrette. Just like how Olive Garden puts your vinaigrette on there already. So, nice, yummy, yummy salad that we have. Took us literally a few minutes to make. Throw that to the back. And while we have our chicken cooking, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the chicken to another burner so we can start with our beans. So I'm just going to move the chicken where I have another pan. And we're going to start with our beans. And the beans are going to be very simple. I'm going to add a little bit of butter. So I'm going to go in with some butter. About a tablespoon of butter. I love mixing butter and olive oil. So I'm going to add in a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to add our garlic. Be careful with your garlic. You don't want it to burn, so you want a low heat. And then I have my beans, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to snap the beans, snap the ends off the beans like so. Into the butter garlic mixture they go. Nope, that one didn't get snapped off. Get that out. Got it. And just snap the ends off, throw them in there. And if it seems like your chicken needs a little bit more oil, which I think mine does, I'm just going to add in a tiny bit more olive oil to my chicken. Just because you don't want it to burn. Our chicken is almost done, guys, so just keep throwing the beans in. Oh, this one kind of tough on the end. You don't want to burn your garlic, so be careful. So don't feel like if you go out into your garden and say you've been growing, you had like 10 green bean plants and you only got 12 green beans. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. Yes, you can. Mix your beans. This is all about you and what you want to do. So I have this in there. We're going to get that nice and coated. All I did, guys, just now was flip the chicken back over because I didn't want it to be more brown on one side. It smells wonderful. I'm sorry that I keep saying that. I just can't help myself. Go back in with my sea salt. If you want it, you could probably use that rosemary salt too, but I didn't want to. Back in with my peppercorn medley. I like a nice spice. And then, of course, I'm going to add in a tiny bit of my onion powder. Now, if you wanted to, you can add some onions into this. But like I said, I wanted to show you guys that you can do this with very little. I wanted to show you guys that you can make a real meal only using a few things. And right now, my green beans and my sugar snaps, they are on, I have it on like a medium low heat because I don't want it to burn. I just want to make sure that I'm getting the flavor. Cut this light on for you guys. Forgot all about that. Sorry, guys. But make sure you can get that flavor from that green beans. Get that nice thing going on. Like, look at that. That looks good. And it smells like you can smell the sweetness coming out of these green beans. So we have that going. Move back over here to our chicken. See how the chicken is going. I want you guys to see. My camera is like being stupid. But look how good that looks. And I'm just going to check on these. And I believe that they're done. I had cut my heat down, guys. So my heat is on a medium low. Because even though I pounded them, they still got chubby again. That's the thing. So They're nice and browned. So I think that they're definitely done, and they look absolutely delicious. So that's what you want. And so I'm just going to cut off the heat. And we'll move back over to our green beans and our sugar snaps, which should almost be done. I like them to still have somewhat of a crunch. If you want, you can cut them like I'm doing with the fork, just because they're, some of these are really long. Or you could have cut them beforehand. And also that'll help that butter and garlic get up inside of it. So we got to get ready to plate this. This looks delicious. We'll get me a little fancy plate out. So, now if you want it, guys, you can steam this too. Especially if you leave your beans on the plant too long like I did and they get kind of woody and hard. What you can do is you can steam them a little bit and then fry them if you want to do that as well. So I have my little green beans. They're nice and done. I have my little side salad. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plate this, guys. This is going to be delicious. So I'm going to show you guys how beautiful this is going to be. So to plate this, I am literally going to find a nice chicken breast. Boom, right there. My little bit of beans, which are probably going to be the best beans I ever had. You don't want to get the little brown bits, but my little beans. And then I'm going to add my salad. Like, I could have left it in there, but I wanted to plate it all together so it can look nice and pretty. Look how beautiful that is. And here you guys go. This is literally what does my clock say? 27 minutes. So literally from prepping to cooking to seasoning to everything done in 27 minutes. We have a farm to table dinner from the things that we made, and we only used 3 ingredients from our house and everything else came from the garden. So I hope that you guys try this recipe. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe, and I will be back with another video.